The government signed a statement of corporate intent with several state-owned business enterprises at the Ministry of Finance today.
The objective of the Statement of Corporate Intent, or SCI, is to contribute positively to strategically important state-owned business enterprises in achieving Sri Lanka's economic goals. Thereby, the Ceylon Electricity Board, Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, National Water Supply and Drainage Board, Airport and Aviation Services Limited and the Sri Lanka Ports Authority signed the Statement of Corporate Intent. On behalf of the CEB, the SCI was signed by Dr. BMS Batakoda, the Secretary to the Ministry of Power and Energy, as well as DAS Vijaypala, the Chairman of the CEB. The Secretary to the Ministry of Town Planning and Water Resources, Sarachandra Sirivithana, and the Chairman of the Water Supply and Drainage Board, K.A. Ansar, also signed the Statement of Corporate Intent. The Secretary to the Ministry of Ports and Shipping, L.P. Jayampati, and the Acting Chairman of the Ports Authority signed the SCI with regard to the Sri Lankan Ports Authority. Secretary to the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation, N. Somavira, signed the SCI with regard to the Airport and Aviation Services Limited. The Acting Secretary to the Ministry of Petroleum Resource Development, S. Hettiarachi, and the Chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation signed the SCI with regard to the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation.
දේශපාලනය කරන්නේ නිසා මං හිතන්නේ වැරදි මාර්ගයකට ගිහිල්ලා මේ හැම ආයතනයක්ම අවුරුදු
All these institutions have been heading in the wrong direction for the past 3 years due to politicization. Except for the airport, all the other institutions have been running at a loss. These losses are not 10 to 15 million. They are around 32 billion for each institution. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation incurs a loss of 56 billion if I remember correctly. That is the loss this year. What we want is to amend these and move forward without burdening the general public. This has nothing to do with the IMF. The expenditure of the Hambantota port is 19.7 billion, but the income is 200 million. This deficit has to be paid by the Ports Authority. It cannot be done. What we are trying to do is to decentralize the powers while holding on to the ownership. We want to ensure that the people are not burdened. We will not provide the ownership that is held by the government exceeding 51%. The Matala airport is good, but if there are no flights, for whose use was it made? The peacocks? We will look for the solution before it comes to this point. We fumbled up in the paddy issue. We went in knowing that we are heading into a problem. We cannot let the CEB go on with losses during the drought, but we cannot stop providing electricity as well. We are trying to not burden the consumer.
ඒ වගේම පාරිභෝගිකයට බර දාන්නත් බෑ. එහෙනම් මොනවද අපි කරන්න පුළුවන් తాවකාලිකව. මේ වගේ වැඩ පිළිවෙල අපි කතා කළ කටයුතු කිරීම තමයි මෙවැනි ප්‍රකාශයක් තුලින් ඇති කරලා තියෙන්නේ.
අපි මේ ගුවන් තොටුපළේ ලබා ගන්නා
We are paying the debts of the Matala airport with the income of the airport here. More than 15 state-owned enterprises has not paid ETF and EPF. The Sri Lanka Transport Board had an amount of 12 billion rupees. We have taken the relevant policy decisions to strengthen the economic process of the country.
ශක්තිමත් කිරීම සඳහා